One. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay. Yeah, all right. Let's see who's here. Okay. Bring that down. Okay. Let's bring that way down. All right. I don't know if anybody's here on the software that I'm on. I can't see if anybody is watching or... Oh, sweet. Somebody is. Sweet. Thank you. So anyway, hopefully the sound has been better for you guys. I think I'm starting to feel... There she is. Hey, Lynn. I think I'm starting to figure these things out. And if you weren't part of the last class, I think I figured that I was peaking it a little bit, so I've toned down the volume of them, but hopefully I'm upping the clarity of them. Okay, hello, sweet. Okay, thanks for chiming in, guys. It's just cool. Hey, Cameron. Okay, so everybody's starting to chime in here. So here's what we're gonna do tonight. Wow, this music is still too. What we are going to work on tonight is sweet. That's cute. 13, okay. Sweet, 13 watching on Facebook. Okay, I got you, now I understand. Okay, so we're back over here. So tonight's class is going to be on leg hooping. These are intro classes. And so they are meant to introduce you to techniques. They are not meant, or it's not my intention or belief that anyone would get some of the things we're talking about in the span of 45 minutes or an hour. So you're being introduced to them, but you know, unless you're just supremely talented or lucky or something, most of the things that we go over on these intro classes actually take some time to sort of feel, you know, and if you're new to HoopPath, I try to teach in a way that opens as many avenues rather than close them down. So there's a lot of like, you know, self-expression that I hope is in the class just innately. And when we're doing these classes, if we were doing them live, you would have permission to go off and do your own thing if that was better. All right, I got to remember to turn this back on, but there we go. If that was better for you. Tonight we're going to be working on legs. Legs to me is one of the hardest body parts on the core. Like head is considered core in HoopPath. Feet are considered core. Among the core, I think the legs is the hardest to get, or at least it was for me. It is a very, very athletic way to hoop. And especially some of the ways that, well, I think all the ways, but the ways we're going to do it, I know that they're athletic because I've been doing it for years. And it just, I think one of the things that makes it tough is actually one of the benefits that you get from it. And that is that it exposes one leg not doing enough, usually, when you try to learn it. And that exposure of learning, like once we know what the problem is, then we can start to solve the problem. But until we know what the problem is, solutions are just sitting there, right? And so leg hooping can really kind of open up, and then once you get it in your body, you start to climb steps differently. Like it can have this, and I don't, have any science to back this up, but it just seems to strengthen the body on your non-dominant side, and you start to lean into it a little bit more. And what's interesting, it's kind of like a fish that moves to a bigger aquarium. Like in your dance, you start that balance, you start to occupy more balanced space. Like you start to use your non-dominant hand as much as you use your other one. Not so much for, the micro task, but in the big gestures of dance. In hooping, if you are already ambidextrous, it really helps. So, what I'm doing for the music tonight, thanks everybody for chiming in, it's good to see who's here. What I'm doing for the music tonight is I'm doing a mashup because learning the legs is really aggressive and hard. We're going to do one leg song and then kind of a free hoopy guided thing, and then another leg song and then a free hoopy guided thing. So we're going to space out our leg hooping in increments tonight. And if you're watching this on replay, you'll get kind of some breaks in between. If you want to get your, athletic feet on, try to hoop the whole class. Anne is here with me in the studio audience. There's going to be some times where she might be on camera like we used to, hooping with me, so you can see both of us sort of interpreting this. We're going to start off with Sway. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. This playlist is going to be on SoundCloud as usual. Let's see. Okay. No, sorry. That's not that one. That's the one. Okay. If you haven't done this with me before, this is called Sway. Sway is a free form of moving. Sway is guided completely by your feeling of that moment. What I like to do is to try and feel my sway so that I can feel how the body is different this day than it was yesterday when I swayed. And to help me do that, I go blindfolded. You can close your eyes. And then I move from foot to foot, experiencing motion through my body. For this exercise, there's no reps to get. There's no sets. The goal of it is just to be in it. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. You're moving freely any way you'd like. You can be stretching, be rolling, or like me, you can be reaching. Audible breath in. Beautiful things about the body is that you don't have to tell it to heal. That the body will heal itself. But what if you could help it heal? What if you didn't know how, but you knew that it was healing, and you wanted to help it? Audible breath in. I want you to imagine that all the cells in your body as you sway are aligned with your good health. And where they are not, that is the sickness, and that's where the healing begins. Imagine as you move, as you open, every particle of you aligning towards health. Every motion you make tunes every cell. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. All right. We are going to move into our hoops now. And we're going to do something I don't always do, but we're going to start off with a free hoop. So we're going to be, obviously, you know this class is a legs class. I'd recommend you work on the core, but we're going to start tonight with just a free hoop to kind of warm you up before we, put some stress on the body.
It's amazing how the heart wants what it really wants, yeah. I'm not complaining, 'cause she's got it and she knows it and she flaunts, yeah. Can't stay away, your gravity.
Anne has a new toy.
Every day. And I'm not sure if I should say this, but baby,
you can hoop any way you want to, move any way you want to.
Turn Every time I see your pussy slip right back into my old ways, right back into my old phrases, telling myself it'll be okay, cause this'll be the day that everything changes. Well, I know that it's a fantasy.
Anyway, you want to hoop or twirl. This is a free hoop before we get into the legs that we're going to be working on.
And baby, that's a hard thing. Sophie, why?
Any way you want to move, any way you want to hoop. Opening the body.
I don't think I will ever know, but girl, I got a little time, and I've got no regrets.
All the way around, all the way around.
When you're wearing a dress, I just find it hard to focus. Yeah, once at an internal locus of control, but you're taking a hold on me. Sophie, why can't I just get a grip? Every time I see
Any way you want to move, however you want to hoop. I know this is throwing you off to have a baton twirler during the free hoop, but I am over inside hooping here. I'm still with you. I'm still here. I'm still here. All the way around, all the way around.
You got me by the heartstrings. And baby, that's a hard thing. And baby, that's a hard thing. Yeah, you got me by the heartstrings. And baby, that's a hard thing, yeah.
Okay. All right. All right, that was our free hoop, guys. Flow is flow. That's right, absolutely. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit. So, as I said, I'm doing a mashup now. So we're going to move from one Wolf Tech song, kind of, then move in to, we're going to move our way into the legs. So I'm here on the waist. What a lot of people may not realize when you're first learning legs is that you may not have the articulation in your legs yet to really get legs and feel free to move with them. Some people are just born with it, and they just have that articulation built already into them. For some of us, though, we have to develop it, and it's hard to develop it while trying to keep a hoop up. But we can develop some of it by waist hooping and just stepping and putting an emphasis on our feet. Okay? There's this old school exercise that I used to do called hot coals. Hot coals was this exercise where you would just imagine that you were on top of hot coals and that you were cool, everything was cool, as long as you kept your feet moving. Now, you don't have to keep the hoop at the waist at all right now. You could bring it up anywhere you want to. But we're going to do a hot pulls exercise to wake up both sides of the body. If you're new to hooping and you can barely waist hoop, stepping might be the missing ingredient for you to be able to really keep it up. Right? Hot coals. However you hoop, whatever you're doing, your feet moving.
And it has no fundamental reality.
If you can, take it up. This is shoulders, hot coals. If you ever want to watch the replays, they are on YouTube. The replays are on YouTube, JL Baxter. This is hot coals. So what I want you to do is open up your footwork. If you always step with your, if you always step forward, step backward. Here's the thing, and this is something that sometimes I say this to help you understand, that some of these tricks and moves and hooping require a type of fitness that even if you were really good at something else that you might not have. You have to develop the strength of the loop strength grace. And what some people might not realize is that waist hooping is one of those high-level sort of strength builders. And people kind of move on from it because, you know, it is what it is. But it takes some strength to really get in control of your waist hoop. So if you're new to hooping and it's taking you a minute to get it, don't worry about that. Hot poles, and the feet are just moving, and it's keeping the hoop on the waist, but it could be anywhere. It could be over here on the shoulders, as long as my feet are moving, and that's the most important thing. Oh, I should turn it. Okay. Sweet. Thanks everybody for chiming in. Thanks for asking your questions. I'm trying to see them. Feet moving, absolutely. Okay, so we're on the waist. No, I'm just telling you, you fitness geeks, this is going to be a high energy class. If you're watching a replay, you can just pause, you know. But for everybody watching it live, if you want to keep up with me, you can. I'm sure you can. It's going to be a workout. So we're here. I should have set that up a little bit better. We're on the waist right here. My favorite kind of music to learn to leg hoop to is jungle. So there's jungle songs in between our mashup of music tonight. So when it comes to leg hooping, there's 3 different positions on the legs that I use. It's the high, which would be like the high thigh, middle, and low. And for our purposes right now, we're talking about leg core hooping, not like wedgies and stuff like that. Most people hoop down here. I think it can be really helpful if you're a beginner to see if you can start to catch the hoop up here, okay? So we're gonna start on the waist. I'm gonna give you about 30 seconds of instruction without music. And we're gonna start on the waist and then we'll bring it in. So once I wanna start leg hooping, I always recommend that you learn a flow from a flow. So I'm in waist flow here. I'm gonna drop down to my legs. I guess I could have demoed leg hooping, but I can imagine that most of you know what it is. Now when I'm here and I'm doing my legs, the first thing I want you to focus on before I press play is external rotation of the legs. Now you can totally leg hoop internally rotated, but this is what most people do. I want you to externally rotate. So if each leg is a column, each column is turning away from that center line, turning out, okay? All right, here we go. We're going to slowly break into this tonight. We're going to slowly break into this. This is our first foray into legs. It's 2 minutes long. So we got a 2-minute song here. I'm turning my legs out. This is our first attempt, and I want you just to try things first. Now, if you cannot get it at all, you can let the hoop drop to just above the knee. I'm dropping my knees and I'll feel it there. When I want to bring it back up, externally rotate and step back. So I'm at the waist, back down. So this is your first effort. I'll give you more things to work on at first. External rotation, I think, is a big help. A lot of times we want to keep the knees locked in like this. It creates a Bermuda triangle for the hoop where there's no way we can get out of it. So what we want to do is externally rotate, turn the kneecaps out. If you don't know what that means, out. Scissor, 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 boom, boom, boom. Could be in England, you could have Germany or in Switzerland. No matter where you are, no matter where you land, from your ear they go the Bible, just hold up your hand. Junglist, junglist. If you you're having trouble, but you just want to get the feeling, if I were to start it from my legs, which I don't think you should do, but if I were, I could start it down here, throw it, start breaking my knees super fast.
Don't take no risk. Big up on them, I say, in the premises. Yo!
This is me pushing the legs together. I'm using that strength of the two legs together. And then anytime I want to bring it back up, I'm going to turn my kneecaps out, externally rotate each leg, and walk it all the way up. Less rotation motion in the hips. Yeah. You want to, actually what you'll start to feel is the connection. Okay, so for some of you, that was your first kind of maybe 2 minutes solid of leg hooping. This is a beginner class, maybe not. We're going to stay on the core and keep the blood high. But I'm going to talk a little bit about shoulder hooping. If you can't shoulder hoop, then you don't have to worry about this part. But we're going to take some pressure off of the legs right now. Come up. I don't want to take total pressure off the legs. I just want you to feel, the different workload when it's up here. If you don't know how to shoulder hoop, the same feeling is accomplished at the waist, maybe even more so. Sometimes after you come out of working on your legs, they feel freer. Okay. Right? I love this kid, man. I really like this stuff. Good. All right. We're going to do a free core song, free hoop core song. Anywhere you want to do, however you want to do it, but you're going to keep the hoop on the core. So we've worked the legs for 2 minutes. We're going to free hoop core, and then come back and work the legs now. If you are still working on your legs while this music is playing, if you're not giving them a break, that's totally cool. What legs requires, what shoulder hooping, what angle hooping require, is awareness through both sides of the body. And so if you want to build up your hoop skill, it can help you get there faster if you build up both sides of the body. If you're not sure how to do that in movement, put your awareness on one side of the body. Like right now, I could tell Anne, awareness on the left side of your body, awareness on the left side of your body. She'll pick a point somewhere, or maybe the whole side. She brings her awareness to that. You could try that with me. I cannot juggle. So we are free core hooping right now, and then we're going to come back to the legs. All right, we'll bring this down just a little bit. We're about to make our next leg run here, and I want to set up the next oh, sorry. I want to set up the next, my bad. I understand, my bad. Should have announced I'm wearing black like a ninja. So we're going to set up a little bit more with the legs now. So we had one first attempt where you just kind of did everything that you need. So I want to go back a little bit. I think that one of the things that people do is they internally rotate. They turn one leg in when they're trying to. And they have one active leg and then one sort of stiff leg. And so the reason it takes a long time to get good at leg hooping is you have to sort of teach that dominant leg, usually, to do less so that the other leg, there's more for it to do, okay? And so like if we're going from where we were the first exercise, where I'm kind of pushing my legs together, and I'm gonna create separated flow down there, then I have to externally rotate. And then the other thing that helps me is to think about like that the force of the hoop wants to keep, for me anyway, wants to make me more internally rotate. So when I say I externally rotate my legs, it becomes kind of like a directional force with the way that I hit the hoop, if that makes sense. Like it's as if I'm pushing out even when I strike the hoop. And that gives me a freedom to sort of move between the legs a little bit more than when I'm just down here. A little bit of bend in the legs. If you're watching this and you already know how to leg hoop, you could, of course I'm looking in the mirror monitor, obviously, but if you have a mirror, or if you just play on your own, adding handwork to what you're doing. But if you're just getting started, this is kind of the kind of thing you're looking for. Usually it starts like this, and then you might get to where you can be over here. And it can be good to take those steps. Speed is your friend, and push those legs out, and if anything, up, right? I can bring my leg. Second current, sweet. That's the funny thing. My second current became my better current. It took me forever to learn second current on my legs, but then it became my better current. I definitely, she inspired us. Come up, reverse. We might as well go ahead and work on legs in the second current. Usually, whether it's legs, shoulders, anything when you're trying to learn it in second current, it can help you to go back to your basics. So just in this class, if you're struggling in second current right now, we could go back to the basics, get a nice tight knee whip with just pushing one tree legs, just pushing our legs together. It doesn't matter that we can't get it up right now. We can still do bullshit with our hands. Then we learn when it is time to bring it up. You can turn against the current a little bit of a cut into the current can help it come up. Turning with it, stalling. Turn against it, cutting. When I'm down here and I want the hoop to come up, I can externally rotate, kind of cut a little bit. Right? This is done. Second effort at legs tonight. What we're trying to do is separate the two trees, separate the two legs. My advice is that you turn out, not just the feeling of the legs, turning them out, but your push goes out. Good. It's our second effort. Sweet. Okay. Now this is indeed a complete free hoop, because we just worked the legs for 2.5 minutes. We're going to come back and hit another 4 minutes with the legs. Oh, actually, changed my mind. I changed my mind. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of off-body, just so I can make sure that these guys don't kill their legs. Because I promised on one of the things, strikes, because that's definitely a leg move. And this will be a nice little breaky thing for us to work with. All right, that's so dope. Strikes happen off of tosses. If you want to just free hoop, you can, but give your legs a break here. The leg strike usually happens off of a toss, but it wouldn't have to. And it's when you throw the hoop up and you strike it with a foot or a knee, and it pops back up. A lot of people do. I like to do them at the knees, and I don't do them a lot, but just for fun, I like to do them at the knees. If you have a low ceiling, maybe skip this part. But these are strikes. This is what I mentioned in the promo. an A as well. These are strikes with the hoop. If you're interested in this, you want to get the hoop in front of where it's rolling, in front. Like if it was a rolling wheel, you want to put something in front of it to stop it. That's the direction of your leg or your strike. I recommend your knee, and I'm going to throw it up, and as it comes down, I'm going to hit it. It's going to be rolling that way for me. I'm going to hit it like that. Because if I get in front of it, it pops up. If I get right underneath it or over here, you just broke your TV. Okay, we'll finish out whatever is left of this with the free hoop. And then we'll come back for number 3 with the legs. Free hoop, yeah. No. We're free hooping, we're moving any way we want before we take on number 3 section with the legs. The reason I'm breaking this up is so that we can keep your legs somewhat fresh for all 3 sections of the class, or sections of the leg class. If you like this music, it is Wolf Tech, and it is open. It is on SoundCloud. I've already put all this into a playlist, which should be awesome. Okay, so leg plan number 3. So maybe if you're watching, if you can't do this at all, this might seem a little bit hard. But what you can do is find the 3 places on your legs, and it might take you over time. But I think one of the places is the high thigh, where my hoop is really high to me right here, and I'm getting my legs underneath it and pushing up with it there, right? Well, doesn't really work when I'm not watching it. There we go. The mid-thigh would be, of course, just a little bit lower, and that sort of locks my legs a little bit more, but I feel like I can get the most power on the hoop from there. And then kind of the low, just above the knee, for me, feels like the safest shelf. Like, I guess because of the knee's just perfect to slip up under there. But as you're learning leg hooping, you want to come back in? As you're learning leg hooping, you can pull it up, mid-thigh, high thigh, or whatever, okay? And then we're going to press play on the music. This is her leg hooping number 3. All right. Now, wherever the hoop is on you, when you start to open to your night side, of your legs, things really open up. By night side, I mean the back. So as you're leg hooping and as you're starting to sort of get a grip on it, one cool exercise you can do is to pull your focus back to your night side, like to the back of each leg. Another nice awareness point as you learn this is the side points and to push out. The side points and push out. Boom, boom, out. You essentially what I'm saying is that different awarenesses in different parts open.
So visualize the verb. You curve thought ways when you're handling the candelabra. So you're sitting on the baby grand, transmitting like you made
The way you learn legs is just doing them. We're breaking up the leg segments tonight. We're using drum and bass, well, jungle, to get us there. The moment you have it at all, step. Step. Yeah, nice, Jen. Oh, yeah, you know, that's a good point. Somebody just talked about the tape really helping. When you want to learn legs, sometimes it can really nice, and sometimes it can really help you to have friction. We used to use Plastidip, which is like this rubbery thing you should not use. Cloth tape helps. It might be something that you just do just until you get it. My hoop doesn't have anything on it. I'm not wearing particularly grippy pants. Once you have the timing of legs, that's a little bit less of an issue. But if you're new to legs, you're first going to try to separate the legs. Each song, we're working on separating the legs. Once we have them separated, then we're going to break the awareness through so that we can externally rotate them. And then I can feel different points of contact, and feeling that contact will change how I move in them.
A lot say they wanna walk in my size 10s. Alright, then here's a pair. Lace them up tight, and you might feel what was dealt to me. You see, ain't no young boys up in here.
You got it.
Trying to keep my pockets on stuff like dead heads upon the wall. So all the gold we give to y'all don't fade. So mind your biz and walk your ways, cause I'm never gonna let you up inside my maze. I don't care about what you think you say. Things you want to know when you look at me. Got you silent in there and said what to do. I can't just how you feel, cause it's all on you.
This is called flight time, and this is a big HoopPath concept. We're just trying to leg hoop as much as we can. If we go the whole time, it'll be 20 minutes tonight, broken out of a 4 install. So I'm trying to separate my legs. Speed is your friend. Sometimes it helps to push up with the front of your legs. Push up. Sweet. Thanks, Chip. I have the most supportive family in the world. On the next installment, we're going to get fancier with the legs. Oh, sweet, you got it. Sweet. If you get it, you guys should tell us. I mean, this is the only place on the internet people will give a shit. But it's hard when you finally get it, and it takes a long time to master. Someone asked me about the hoop size. I don't really know what the best hoop size for is. Do you think they're smaller is easier? And do you think smaller is easier? Do you think smaller is easier? Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't think you get to hear that, and like some medium size, basically. Finally getting it. Sweet. That's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do one more. Actually, before I go into this, I wanted to talk a little bit, because that's our next sort of free flow song, but I want to show you something that I have promised you. I'm going to show them the kickstart, so take one step back real quick. Now, there's a million different kickstarts, and the reason why kickstarts are like the peanut butter to the jelly when it comes to leg hooping, because you drop the hoop a lot, and if you have a cool as hell way to get it up, that really helps. Usually I'm wearing shoes, but I'm not. But my hoop, I'm going to send it to the left. I'm going to send it in the left current. This is about the trickiest trick in the world. And the hoop is on the front of my foot right here. It's on the front. And I'm going to take my other leg, my left leg, and I'm going to place it in front, just like that, okay? And then I'm going to use the pressure that's created from the hoop being against that leg. I'm going to kick it. I'm going to send the hoop out, step up, step in, pull up. It sounds stupid, but I'm going to send it. This is also awesome. This is the first time I've taught this since like 2009. I'm going to kick it out, up. Okay? So I'm here. I'm here. If you've never done it before, it looks easy, but it can take, the timing of it can take a minute, so give yourself a lot of slack. But my back foot, you know, I've got my right foot inside of it, and my left foot is the outside. And I'm going to kick my right foot, and that's going to send the hoop flying. Once it sends it flying, it's going to have the load of the hoop. I'm going to pick this foot up, touch down back in here, or bring it in and almost touch the ground, and then pull it up, okay? So it goes boom, boom. All right? Now if you want to do it the other way, my left foot's in the hoop now, my right foot is outside of it. I'm going to send it to the right by doing this technique. I'm going to pull my foot around, send the hoop around, boop, boop. There we go. Okay? Watch it on replay on YouTube if you're struggling. I can't, let me know if you have any questions. My inside foot is the back foot. If I was on a skateboard, my back foot's inside the hoop. My front foot is outside the hoop. The hoop's pressed against that. I kick, sends the hoop into flight. Pa! There's the money. Okay, now we'll just go into a free hoop, but you can practice that kickstart if you want. I know I promised it. The reason I'm including these free hoops tonight, there's usually not this many, is to give your legs a break before we go for the last 4.5 minute stretch of legs. Thank you, everybody, for joining it. Sweet. Nice, Kelly. Sweet. Dude, guys, thanks for posting your updates. Seriously. Damn, I miss you guys. I miss connecting with people, right? This is a free hoop. You can move any way you want to. If you're tired, get some water, but I recommend you kind of keep your sway on a little bit before we get into the last section tonight. If you're still with us, if you've been hooping this whole time, cheers to you. Free flow. If you're like me, your legs probably feel on fire, maybe in a good way, but they probably feel activated. That's what hooping, that's what flow does. It activates. No one has to learn leg hooping. We choose to so that we can activate the legs in a new way. This is our free hoop. If you like this music, it's on SoundCloud. free hooping. You can't see me, but I'm hooping with you. We're free hooping, move it any way you want. If you've joined us for a period of time, thank you. Feels good to be connecting. I teach every Monday, every Thursday, for now, for lockdown. Thank you, everybody, for stayed with us. All right, we're going to jump into... Thank you, Ian, for showcasing the free hoop spot there. We're going to jump... For 1 second, I want to show you a little bit about legs. Okay, sweet. That's a good read. It's good. All right, so... let's see here. One more... thing to focus on. All right, so we're here. This is our fourth and final leg hoop. If you've made it this far, I know we're running a little bit late, but good for you if you made it. Some of these classes are a little bit more athletic than the other ones. One of the things that you can do with your leg hooping, once you start to get it, to open up to it, is you start to really, as I was saying in phase 3, you feel the different surfaces of you that the hoop is hitting, and you kind of lay in or lean back into those. And there is one way, if I'm feeling the front of my thighs, what we call the day side of the body, when the hoop comes around, this is what I'm hoping will happen for phase, the final phase here. And so I'd love it if you could start to, get that step on. In the last class we were doing the heavy leg, light leg. That sometimes can really help you, where you're shifting your weight from one leg into the other one as you start to... But the key thing is to keep the rattle of it with you. And then what I'd like to see, if you could, is start to, like if you're watching this on replay, start to take multiple steps. Ooh, almost hit feedback on that. We're trying to take multiple steps. Wow. I'm right between feedback. Okay. Then, if you can, if I focus on the day side, as I started to say earlier, if I pop that up, I can start to angle the hoop up. And I'm doing kind of like angle leg, well, not kind of, I'm doing angle leg hooping. So the hoop is coming around. I'm going to take my second leg, my PM leg. If it's going to the right, my right leg, I don't think it matters. And I'm going to pop it up, start to bounce. And then I'm in angle leg hooping. And when I'm there, I'm externally rotating, just like when you're in sky angle at the shoulders. I'm pushing out with the way that it's hitting me. That's the logo. All right? So for our final phase, give it all you got. But what you could try to do, steps. And then for some of you that really have it, nudge it up into an angle and maybe see how long you can keep it going. All right? We're working on legs, anything. Thank you, Chip. right? If you were here for the chopstick class, some of the lessons we learned from the chopstick class work for legs. If you move your arms, even rhythmically, it'll wake up the legs. Nice. When you're angle hooping on the legs, it doesn't matter how steep the angle is. I mean, it could matter to you, but it's not much different to have just a slight angle on it than to go ahead and put it way up. I like the slight angle a little bit better. This is the final phase of our legs tonight. Sorry, my couch keeps getting in the way. There we go. Oh, I'm a bully. Sorry. It's coming back. It's not over. Come on, you got this.
Easy me selector in a A1 class. Rock it in a shaman with me wallaby clocks. Strictly sensing we are crushing off the ox. Load up the cock chip with the chalwa to the right we are go past.
Considering you're watching this on replay, right? Phase 4, like that sort of final place. And you can move over just like 1 foot. It would be balanced. You know, one leg off. And the reason, you would never do that in flow, but if you can, leg hoop on one leg with both legs inside of it, then it frees up the feet so you can. Externally rotate. Oh, sweet. Hey, man, big love to everybody in Minneapolis right now. Big love to you guys. Oh my gosh, you got a whole nation watching. Sending love to you guys. Right here. Nobody thinks that was right. On any side of the aisle, nobody thinks that was right. Big love, big love, big love. Good. All right, guys, I hope you made it through all of those legs. We're going to move into just some free hoop songs to close the night out. Oh, you did it 4 times clean. Sweet, guys. Thank you. If you get it, man, share. We're going to go for about another 2 songs, maybe. Hopefully you got a good sweat in tonight. Thank you guys for all of the love and everything. It just means a lot to me, and we'll keep these going. We are going to do one more jam at least this Saturday, and then I'll be in a class. The class on Monday will be a myth class, so if you like that sort of out there stuff, it'll be for you. We're going to close with a free hoop. That's great. Nice, Heather. Sweet. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in. I hope your legs feel amazing. We'll chill out on the mic and just free hoop release songs.
You do hear it. do hear it. Hear what? Do hear it. Do hear it.
Nice. Thank you guys so much. I think we got one more free hoop song, and then we're going to sign off. If you've had to check out already, I really appreciate it. Sweet. 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 Well, good luck with the angle hooping. That's great. Anyway, this is free hoop. Any way you want to hoop, including how I want to. Yeah, this is the super chill. I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, that's kind of disappointing. Yeah. Shucks. Sorry, y'all. We're just going to go really chill. Wow. Sorry, guys. I'll just balance it out.